This is J&T's Backyard Bowl.
Hello and welcome back to J&T's Backyard Bowl. I am T. To be honest with you, it's been a super long work week for me. Finally off for a few days here, and what do I get off and find out is that we have a national emergency declared here.
Yeah, and I'm Jay, and I've been taking it easy, kind of like our commander-in-chief who went golfing today, or yesterday actually, because it's Saturday.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had to work this weekend, man. That sucks.
Rough, yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Whatever. So, you ready to bowl, man?
Let's bowl.
All right, let's do it.
Let's get right into the BYB headlines. All right. Try to make this quick because I know you're tired.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're worn down. You're a broken man.
If not by the job, then by the political nature of what's going on right now. But
I don't blame you.
first up on the list this week for BYB headlines is your girl, AOC, leading the rally in Washington, D.C. for the pro-TPP guys.
TPS, actually.
TPS, not TPP, yeah.
Yeah, the temporary protected status.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, and those are the folks that are from places like I think it's Haiti, Honduras, Sudan's on there. I think it's a variety of countries, and Trump is usually calls these places shitholes.
Yeah.
You know, it's usually due to natural disaster or political unrest.
War, famine.
Like, yeah, basically going back there is a death sentence.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
proud to see AOC out, hasn't lost her zeal for her boots on the ground mentality.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's why she's my girl, man. Like, I gotta say, like, for... Once you get into that position of power, and you have that big old fat Congress check.
Yeah.
Usually, like the freshmen tend to just kind of meld into the background and don't ever really get mentioned again unless they make some incendiary comment or a gaffe or something like that. But with AOC's popularity and the hate that the right has been putting on her, which just gives her more popularity because
fuel to the fire.
People love to hate her and people love to watch her fucking spout her beliefs. And I to be honest with you, I thoroughly enjoy her beliefs, man. I'm proud that she's still sticking to her activist roots because that's how she got elected.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I somewhat expected her to just kind of fade out a little bit, reach that star power, get elected, get her job going here, get in the chamber and realize how things work. But she's realizing how things work and actively seeking out to change the bad ways of how those things work.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
That's why I love that woman, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
She's awesome.
She is. Next up, we've got a former Air Force intel officer charged with spying for Iran. This one's kind of weird because, turns out that she defected back in 2013, and we're just now doing charges on her. It's a little weird.
It's super odd and circumstantial type of...
Like 6 years ago now. So, I don't know. Maybe it just came up with the latest intel gathering because we're kind of ramping up our actions against Iran, but
yeah,
she spouted off some pretty important stuff. She gave them the code name and the goal, at least from what was released to the press via the indictments and charges and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Released a secret government code name and mission statement or whatever you'd like to call it of something that has to do with Iran. And probably is something along the lines of how can we destroy their missiles or
I would imagine. I would speculate.
Yeah.
we here at Backyard Bull don't know, but we can speculate it to a fair degree of certainty.
Yeah.
what's going on there. Moving right on, though. Mueller, man, our favorite prosecutor. I know your favorite prosecutor.
Yeah.
All
these are my favorites.
Yeah.
My favorite traitorous Air Force intel agent, Monica Witt. We never did mention her name.
Oh, yeah, Monica Witt. So Mueller has pretty much bulletproof evidence here that Roger Stone, that we talked about last week, if not the week before, was in direct connection with WikiLeaks.
Well, yeah, you say bulletproof evidence, but everybody's erring on the side of caution and saying it's possible.
Yeah.
But, like, when you read that shit, it's like, yeah, no, he's got text messages and emails between, directly between WikiLeaks, Roger Stone, and a certain Organization 1.
I was hoping you would mention the Organization 1 thing with the individual one. Oh, no, that's definitely Donald Trump and Organization 1. Like,
Weird.
who the fuck else would that be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And he's on the record, saying he had some back channel. He told a guy that got the information.
Oh, yeah, I talked to Corsi, who, is like this crazy conspiracy theorist that just, like, randomly guessed. But Corsi's going to flip on him. He said as much.
Well, the indictments aren't done.
Yeah.
There'll be more.
But, this doesn't look good for Stone at all, who actually has a gag order. I don't know if we talked about that last cast.
We touched a little, yeah. But
yeah, he's gagged, so we won't be hearing much from him and his lawyers, but... So, really, any sort of news that comes out of there is probably going to be either A, leaked, or B, straight from, like, the Mueller mouth.
Yeah, future Mueller filings might give us an idea of what's going on like this one did. Other than that, we're probably just looking forward to a trial and a grand jury and everything, and it'll be your standard operating procedure with the other indictments that have come, with lying to Congress and
trying to weasel their way out of everything.
Yeah, the witch hunt that is getting witches.
Oh, I've got gout. I'm so sick and dying now. All of a sudden,
that cracked me up. They're making a case that he can't show up. Yeah, with Manafort.
Yeah,
he can't show up to proceedings because he's got gout.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm dying and old. That's weird.
Yeah, I'll cry gigantic crocodile tears for Manafort when he goes to jail for a very long time.
Oh yeah. But so yeah, just keep an ear out for that, because we'll definitely be talking about Stone a lot more, and probably also Manafort.
Yeah.
But this one right here.
Oh boy.
Andrew
McCabe.
Me or you. Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. It's pretty juicy.
It is.
We got another bad book about the administration coming out.
Yes, we do. Why don't you go ahead and take us down that road?
Yeah, so Andrew McCabe, the former FBI director, I believe, for a little while after Comey got fired, and it was a little bit of a shake-up there in the FBI. So he wrote a new book that's coming out here really soon. And
Another tell-all, you say?
Yeah, another. If nothing else, this presidency is producing a lot of books.
Yeah, it's definitely making jobs in the book publishing industry, especially for the tell-all political garbage.
Right. So this one, it has a lot to say, at least from the excerpts we can get already, about Jeff Sessions and everything his ideas had
Oh my God.
to play into this administration's policies.
Jeff Sessions, my favorite racist elf.
He is.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I mean, I've already got like some super hate towards this guy just because he's so anti-weed.
Anti-weed, anti-anything but white people, anti...
Yeah, but also he's racist and, I mean, like, super old and set in his, like, 1950s era, Handmaid's Tale type life that he wants to, like, propagate across the country.
Yeah.
But this one is like, the quote, oh man, the FBI was a lot better when they only hired Irishmen.
Yeah.
They were drunks, but at least they were loyal.
Right.
These kids today with their nose rings and tattoos, you don't know what they're up to. Like,
Yeah. as if those things like that are true character definers
Yeah,
of whether,
yeah.
whether or not you're loyal or honest or have integrity or
Yeah,
something that the agency would value out of you.
Yeah, but like you got tattoos and a nose ring. Obviously, you're less than a drunk.
Yeah,
You know?
it gives you a good idea of like why and how Jeff Sessions got hired, just because he is that MAGA in the most negative of ways. Make it great again. Before people were tattooed, before people had nose rings, before you hired anybody that wasn't this specific type of person that you thought you should for whatever bad reason you thought you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also ties everything to race and like, so like, oh yeah, we've got this like big case going on here. Like we got a active shooter or a terrorist or something. Okay, so where is he from?
Yeah.
Is he brown?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't say is he brown, but it's always like, where's he from?
Yeah.
Oh, where's his parents from? They're always trying to tie it to immigration.
The excerpts from the book had a lot to say so far about that he would want to tie in race or immigration type based issues with things that had nothing to do with that whatsoever. An issue would pop up and he would immediately go to the race or to the creed of the person that was not specifically important for the details of what matter for why or how this happened.
Which is not surprising at all.
From Jeff Sessions, no.
What was surprising was the fact that they were talking about the 25th Amendment. And McCabe's spokesman, or spokeswoman, I think, came out and said that he was misquoted during that whole thing. And we'll find out tomorrow on Sunday when the 60-minute interview is going on. But I guess he talks a lot about the whole 25th Amendment thing and how, everyone was kind of like, should we really implement this? Because, like, I mean, it's, like, it's unprecedented, but, like, it's kind of there.
Yeah, just the fact that our federal agents of the FBI and the highest within the cabinet have even had to think about that.
Yeah.
Tells me, like, maybe just thinking about it's not enough. If you think that might be a good option, you're probably in the right direction. Like, that's not something you just ponder on a whim,
Yeah.
There's good reasons to go down that route, and I think they've already been well surpassed within this administration's course of the last 2+ years.
Yeah, and this isn't the first time the 25th Amendment has come up. Not necessarily in the FBI, but in other places, you know. So, and mind you, like, 25th Amendment, those are cabinet members that are the ones that are discussing that.
Yeah.
They're the ones that were actually, like, appointed by Trump. Trump gave them that job.
Yeah. Those guys, you handpicked them, those people.
Yeah.
They're not guys that get elected. They're not fucking randomly chosen, lottery, anything else like that. You decide who's in your cabinet.
Yeah, which actually brings us right into our next section.
Mm-hmm.
Love it or hate it, we got to do it. It's tantrums.
Yeah, the weekly tantrums. Boing. And the 25th Amendment's probably the best of the week.
Yeah, that's it's a rich one.
Yeah. So you have this quote, I think, by Dershowitz.
Yeah, Alan Dershowitz. He goes on to say, I think it was on Fox, trying to use the 25th Amendment to try and circumvent the election is a despicable act of unconstitutional power grabbing, which happens in third world countries. You have to obey the law. This is an attack on our system and constitution.
So some of that, specifically the unconstitutional part, when you're talking about a constitutional amendment, is just so blatantly counterintuitive.
Yeah.
That it boggles my mind that a law professor would spout something like this. It just fucking...
Well, I think the way that the law professor is kind of trying to spin this, which, Alan Dershowitz, he's like 80 years old.
Yeah.
He's like prime demographic for fucking Trump.
Yeah, Fox News all day, every day.
But he's still a smart guy, and if this was strictly like a cabal of previous holdouts, kind of like how Trump views things and how some on the right view things, where it's this cabal of Hillary supporters that are in the government, the deep state thing, you know, that if they try to influence and use the 25th Amendment to get him ousted,
Right.
by circumventing the whole impeachment process, then yes, like in that certain thing, it is unconstitutional. Because that's like a fucking that's a coup.
In this deep state frame of mind that you're outlining here, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but also in that deep state frame of mind is like Pizzagate.
Yeah.
So like
exactly.
you don't want to be in this deep state frame of mind because like that's like crazy town.
Yeah, that's fucking Alex Jones, fucking Rush Limbaugh, just crazy conspiratorial
guy running into a pizza shop, fucking shooting up the place,
exactly,
looking for the chimos.
Yeah, just this crazy way of thinking that's not the right way when you're gonna when you start talking about the 25th Amendment, like that's there for a reason, and like you said, those people are put there by the guy that they're thinking about getting rid of.
Yeah.
So if the people you hired, and you only hire the best people, want to get rid of you, there must be some kind of good reason why they would do that. I don't know if that's Russian collusion connection, or if that's fucking firing the FBI director, James Comey, in charge of looking into that type of thing, undermining the Mueller investigation at every chance you get, always deflecting towards the Hillary things, that not that she's without her problems, but...
Or maybe they just like watched him speak for.
Yeah, that's all it would take for me.
I mean, we all saw the State of the Union, I saw bits and pieces, but like,
yeah,
or like this national emergency. Oh. That right there, I think, is 25th Amendment worthy right there. Jesus Christ, man.
There's probably been so many pieces and parts within the last 2+ years that have been 25th Amendment worthy, where these guys have gotten together 2s and 3s and 4s or more.
He's not speaking complete sentences. What's wrong with him?
Yeah, like he's contradicting himself within the same sentence.
Yeah, everything is great and wonderful, but it's also terrible.
Yeah, American carnage, but we're the most prosperous we've ever been.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? 25th Amendment? Just maybe.
He's kind of crazy.
I'm just spitballing here, but 25th Amendment?
Yeah. What are some other ones that we got?
So, oh man, he's not done with his fucking bullshit Pocahontas fucking jokes that on Elizabeth Warren, as if that's not fucking old yet, He added to it this week.
I think he realized that it was getting old.
Yeah, he's kind of feeling the staleness of that, but he added to it at the end of one of his most recent tweets, taking a fucking shot at his prospective 2020 rivals, Elizabeth Warren. Said, "Can't wait to see you on the 2020 trail," all in caps. A clear reference to the Trail of Tears, and he had said Pocahontas within the same tweet, and there's really no other reason to be all caps trail.
Yeah.
And his supporters will do the thing his supporters do. He's joking. He's just kidding about a mass atrocity of Native Americans. It's just a joke. Yeah. Don't get so upset.
Like, for those of you who don't know what the Trail of Tears is, or was rather, it was this horrific period of time where the American government relocated thousands of Indians, just basically from like where they lived, all over the southeastern United States to west of the Mississippi.
Yeah,
like, get them the fuck out of here.
Anywhere not there.
Yeah,
because you're not staying there.
We're talking like forced marches, and like this went on for like almost 20 years.
Yeah.
It it was pretty brutal. You know, I mean, like, we're talking like deaths in like the tens of thousands.
Oh,
You know,
for the leader of the country to fucking, I don't give a fuck if he's. I know he's not joking because I'm not fucking stupid, but to even if he was joking, to joke about something like that, like, I don't make jokes about the Holocaust. I don't make jokes about mass amounts of fucking people getting genocided somewhere. That's not a funny fucking dick around thing that you should be putting on Twitter.
yeah. If you're the president of the United States, and you know, what's the senator that's of Japanese descent? Hirono?
Hirono, yes.
Yeah. Like, is he gonna make a fucking comment about Hirono with internment?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I guess she's gonna go visit the kids in cages down there. Maybe she'd like to join them. Her.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a reference to like the worst and darkest times of our history.
I guess
Like, and just making light of it like that is it's sickening.
it's fucked up.
Yeah, despicable is a great
It
word
drives
for
me
it.
fucking nuts. I guess if I had to say what way I would want to see this or hear this, would be, by all means, push back against your 2020 political rivals. By all means, because I would.
Yeah.
If I was a conservative or a liberal, I would be on the offense, trying to get ahead of, he's got a lot of people to worry about. The Democrats are stacking up here. But attack their policy. Find holes within their policy. Find problems within the types of things they want to get done. Don't attack the person.
Yeah.
Or specifically, in this case, the person's... Well, Elizabeth Warren with the whole Native American thing is a bad example, but the heritage, or make digs at the fucking Trail of Tears, like the worst type of most despicable act that you can fucking, like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? That's not funny. That's not cool.
No.
Like, think about it the way you would, like, tell your kids to fucking combat a bully.
Yeah.
Don't fucking make fun of something terrible like that. Find something wrong with the way that they're thinking. Attack policy, not people.
That's good advice right there. Because apparently Trump took my advice about taking it easy.
Yeah.
Last episode, so maybe he'll take your advice.
I wish you were I wish you and I were on the presidential advisory team there. It's kind of maybe
I don't think I could handle that.
it'd be a rough job.
It'd
be a rough job, but if you could just wrangle in some of the tweets like this and say, hey, no, hold on.
Hey, dude, wearing the MAGA hat, but like really hating life.
Oh yeah, no, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Never mind, I take that back.
But to save America though.
Oh, to save America?
Because to be honest with you, it kind of sounds like he's pretty easy to manipulate. If he liked you, like he thought you were a cool guy, which, let's face it, T, we both know you're not. But he's gullible, right?
Right.
So you get him going, like, oh yeah, hey, I'm a cool guy.
I'm totally
I'm
golf
down
all the time. I got
I'm
my
down
MAGA
with
hat.
your base, bro. I got you.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh man, this dude's hip and he's also jiggy with it.
Right.
Yeah. And you could just steer him in a way that's don't burn the country down.
Yeah. We had that conversation that I had speculated that if you surrounded Trump with people like that,
Yeah.
we'd probably be okay. Not that we're not gonna be okay by 2020 or 2024. We're gonna make it through this. It's gonna be bad, but we're gonna make it through this, and we're gonna eventually be okay. But you could probably get a liberal agenda done with the right people surrounding Trump. I think that he's that easily influenced and that easily persuaded. If he just thought that you were a cool guy,
Yeah.
Jared Kushner.
If you sucked up enough.
Yeah, but didn't have the worst ideas ever, then you could probably make a real difference for the country.
Yeah. If you had the influence that Stephen Miller had.
Yeah, exactly.
And instead of the war on migrants. You could have a war on actual opioids or
Right.
climate change or something like that.
Yeah. I think it'd be interesting to see what could happen in some sort of alternate reality where you have Trump, and he lost the popular vote but won the presidency, but his 5 closest advisors and the people he trusts the most are intelligent and want what's best for the country and not racist. And
Yeah.
like they're not what the people that are in those positions are.
Yeah,
by
like he
definition.
accidentally hired him.
Yeah, like which isn't really that far fetched. He doesn't know the best people.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not the best deal maker. He's not everything he claims to be. So for him to just accidentally get a few, left-minded thinking people on his team,
Wiggle their way in there. That would be nice.
A little-
One can dream.
political infiltration, if you will.
Yeah. Well, let's get right on into the next one. This has to do with his El Paso rally.
Oh boy.
Oh man, I watched this thing and so he starts out first off, there's 10,000 people there. He tells the crowd, "Oh yeah, there's 10,000 of you there," and then a few minutes later, it's 15,000. And then he starts digging at Beto because Beto's having an opposing rally.
Yeah, a little contest party.
Yeah, a little. Yeah. The rally was there, and there was a protest march and stuff like that. I think was it NBC actually said that there was about 15,000 people at Beto's thing.
rally. Yeah.
So I don't know if Trump got that in his little earpiece or whatever. So he went out and said we've got 35,000 people over there, and Beto's got 12.
Yeah.
So
He's doing a pep rally, and we're doing a stadium.
yeah, so he got the El Paso fire department went ahead and fact checked him on that.
Yeah.
And it turns out no. There was not 35,000 people in that stadium. That's impossible.
Right.
Physically impossible.
Yeah.
There was only 6.
Well, the prime example of I know specifically the base of the conservatives that we're talking about here don't like facts and don't care for them and aren't willing to hear them whatsoever. But fire departments are very specific about
How many people
can be in an area. A fucking Chuck E. Cheese can't have more than 158, and that's a very specific number for a very specific reason. Because if the fucking place starts burning down, you need to be able to get out of there, and you need to be able to get out of there quick.
Exactly.
And so they fact checked that. They came back with 6?
Yeah, 6,000.
6,000?
6,000
So
people were in that
I'm
stadium.
not doing a dick measuring contest with Beto. I would expect Beto to draw the
No,
bigger
that's
crowd.
what Trump was doing.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know he was doing that. His tiny hands, fucking Donnie Doll hands Trump was of course doing the dick measuring contest, but I don't want to play that game. It's just like the inauguration. It really rejuvenated the inauguration thing with.
It really did.
It was so much bigger than Obama's biggest inauguration ever. Sean Spicer repeated it over and over and over again on live television. And it's prime example of we cannot fucking trust you people.
Yeah.
And yes,
You
I said
lie
you
about
people.
the stupidest shit.
Yeah, if you're that fucking concerned about your crowd size being bigger, we are in a dick measuring contest, and you have the smaller dick. That's what it is.
Compensating much?
Yeah, if you're that obsessed with the crowd size, calm down. Let's just talk facts.
Yeah.
The
Or
Paso Fire
let's-
Department's not lying here.
Yeah. They're doing their job. They only let 6,000 people in, and they're no. But of course, conservatives will say, oh, well, there was attendees on the outside.
They'll probably tell you that the El Paso Fire Department is full of liberals. The liberal-packed El Paso Fire Department. Just fucking trying to spin this in a different direction.
I don't know if you know this about the El Paso Fire Department, but they actually put out fires where illegal immigrants live. Illegal immigrants' houses will be on fire, and they will put them out.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
Can you trust them? I don't think you can. I'm just asking the question.
That's a good little J 2020 campaign ad to run against, some constituent based here in El Paso.
I guess. If I wanted to be a conservative asshole running in El Paso.
Yeah. You put the piece together, like, I won't be surprised if that exact verbiage gets used, so.
Let's move on to the next one. This one's rich.
Oh boy, well, it takes us right into our main topic, but we'll get there in a second. We're in a national emergency. We have a national emergency on our hands.
Yeah.
So, the quote straight from the, I don't want to say president, horse's mouth, is, I could do the wall over a long period of time. I didn't need to do this. I'd rather do it much faster. Yep. I didn't need to do this is all I need to hear out of that Trump rhetoric too. Just to understand what's going on here.
Yeah.
I didn't need to do this.
I didn't need to do this.
He painted himself in the same corner that he painted himself in the Oval Office with Chuck and Nancy. With the I'll own the shutdown. I'll be proud to shut it down. And he can't keep his foot out of his mouth.
Sarah Sanders, bless her heart, had to come and say, like, well, what he was talking about was, like, if Congress just did their job and passed a bill that he wanted, then, he wouldn't have had to do this. That's what he meant by saying that I didn't have to do this and that I could have done it over a longer time.
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know. She stretches. I mean, like.
Oh yeah,
she is Gumby.
I thought Sean Spicer was bad. Sarah Huckabee Sanders can really get out there on a limb, as far out on the limb as you can possibly imagine, and make something seem like something it could not possibly be. Every fucking time this dude says something that's unimaginable.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, her and, like. This probably has upped the number. Her and 40 fucking, staffers are sitting there and coming up with a way on how to, like, best twist the tantrum into something that makes logical sense.
Conservative spin machine. Toss it in the conservative spin machine and see what that thing spits out.
Yeah. And, like, I think it gets tossed in the conservative spin machine, and then it just gets spit right back out because it's like, no, I can't do anything with it. Yeah. And so they got to sit there and be like, all right, well, what if you just do a press release and interpretive dance?
Right.
Like, don't say any words. Like, this is what Trump meant. And if you don't understand it, you're stupid.
Yeah.
And then just
what liberals need to understand is that border security, crime, murder, death, fatalities, beheadings.
Yeah. A real Matt Gaetz
it's one of two things. It's either that or it's fucking he was joking. He says something outrageous. He was joking. Calm down, snowflakes. Or, hey, you can't fucking understand it because you're a liberal. And one day you'll get it. We have it right, you fucking idiots.
Yeah. But this brings us right into our main story. Mm-hmm. An emergency of a deal. Oh yeah.
So, Mr. Dealy Dealmaker, art of the deal, best deal maker that ever existed. So he wanted 5.7. So back before the shutdown ever started, we didn't have a second, thankfully, but the longest shutdown in American history ever started, they offered $1.6 billion.
Yeah, it's like 1.67.
Didn't want that. Yeah, not taking that. 1.6, no.
No, not enough.
Came back with a lower number, 1.5,
and mind you,
1.4.
Like, it should be noted that, like, the Republican Congress passed that.
Yeah, the Senate.
The Republican Senate passed that.
That was a thing before the shutdown happened.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-shutdown. Pre-longest shutdown in American history. Yes. So come back with a deal, 1.5, 1.4 range. Nope, not taking it. Now, here we are, the day before national emergency declaration or shutdown, or both, and we're settling for $1.3 billion for wall.
Yep.
The deal maker really made a good deal here.
Oh yeah, totally.
Could have had 1.6. And that's not chump change. That's $300 million. I don't know how much wall that builds, but I would imagine it's some. It's not nothing.
Well, as it stands right now, the $8 billion that he's going to use is going to do 267. So I'm guessing that's probably like half a mile or so.
I think they said for the 8 bill that he's gonna with the national emergency he's gonna grant him, he's gonna get 55 miles.
Yeah, I thought it was 267 miles.
267.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to fact check both of each other to
Yeah.
kind of figure that out. And our listeners might want to fucking hit us up and call us out if they will, but
Yeah, we'll have to look into that, and we'll definitely reattack that on Twitter and figure out which is the number.
yeah. Whatever the case, it's not. As we've said before, it's not the wall. It's not the Sea to Shining Sea wall. We all knew that.
Well, either way, like just like every other government contract that's ever been, you do know that like $8 billion, and they say, yeah, we can get 267 miles of wall for $8 billion. It's like, dude, like that's really expensive.
Yeah.
What is this wall made out of? But government contract, it's probably gonna be.
Yeah.
We're probably like, I've got the number that like it's supposed to be, and you've got the number it's actually gonna be.
Yeah.
Like,
we're probably both right in different respective ways.
Yeah. Like, it actually ended up being 55 miles.
Yeah, like, well, once the contract took over and all the pieces and parts got moving and you factored in the labor and the cost of the moving the materials there and the mountains that were in the way of getting them there and everything else that went into place, or whatever it is, still, whether that number be 55 or 237 or whatever that number is, it's not nearly what the campaign promise is. And the worst part of this is where this money's coming from.
Oh yeah, but first, before I get into that, I would just like to say, I've called a few things on here, a few times.
You have.
You called this one, and we know this border wall thing is not over. This $8 billion right now, national emergency, that's just the start. And you said it like when we first started talking about the wall. This is a down payment. And you've got Republicans and Democrats saying the same damn thing now. They're just stealing words right out of your mouth, T. Are you gonna let that happen?
I coined the term.
You did.
Down payment, yeah.
Down payment.
I'll take it. It's not often that I predict the future. You've done it a few times. I'll take this one.
Yeah, but this is a big one.
Yeah,
you got it good.
That's good and bad. I mean, I like that I had some insight into what was going to go on here. But I mean, the lowest estimates here are 10, 15, 20 billion dollars. So even 8 billion, we're looking at half or maybe a third of what it's going to cost for the whole thing if you're going to get that, and how many shutdowns that might take, or potential shutdowns, or potential national emergencies in the future.
Well, the good thing about the whole shutdown, if you could say any good thing, because like as it stands right now, there's a congressperson in Wisconsin that was really trying to push for the contractors to get their money back, to get back pay.
Mm-hmm.
But those contractors are usually the lower end type jobs, so your security guards and your janitors and stuff like that. So Trump doesn't care about those folks.
Yeah. He did promise back pay when he finally opened the government back up. He did promise back pay for everyone affected, and now we're seeing.
Yeah, he said that he wouldn't sign it.
Yeah,
it was straight up reported. That was reported on NPR, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna trust them.
Oh, NPR is the way to go.
Yeah. So
if you want fact-based news, unbiased.
Yeah, unbiased news. Yeah, if you're gonna get that from there. But so unfortunately, she's still gonna fight for it. I wish I could remember her name, but I do know that she's from Michigan. But yeah, so unfortunately, it looks like hopefully you made enough money on Uber or Postmates or something over the shutdown period, because you ain't getting any money back, guys. Which is it's just a crying shame. What's also a crying shame is where this money is coming from. So we've got $8 billion, as we've said recently. $1.3 billion of that is from the actual funding bill that goes into repairing and, establishing new fencing and everything like that. But this national emergency is going to take $3.6 billion from military construction.
Ooh.
Which, as you all know, we live down here in Florida. And we had this little storm down here, and it actually had a name. What was that name?
Hurricane Michael.
Yeah. It destroyed Tyndall.
One of the most powerful storms in recent memory.
Yeah. Literally destroyed
right on
it.
the cusp of Cat 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little interested to see on if that's going to affect on whether or not Tyndall's going to open back up.
Yeah.
Because that's like our bleeding edge shit right there.
Well, that's a multi-million-dollar project, and if you're pulling $3.6 billion,
yeah,
I would assume that that's going to have some effect, at least slow down however lengthy that process of rebuilding might be.
Last time I checked, Tyndall was a place that held 35s.
Yeah, well, that's the tentative plan right now, is to put a F-35 base in Tyndall.
No,
and F-22s were there before.
Yeah, F-22s.
The leading cutting edge of the military technology we have right now was there, and that's all had to up and leave because of the storm. And they plan on rebuilding, but when the commander-in-chief takes $3.6 billion out of the military construction fund, I guess we'll see what happens.
So our bases where our best and fucking most effective technology. Oh, excuse me.
Excuse you.
Is housed is in tatters, but like a border wall to keep some asylum seekers out is more important than that.
Yeah.
Up next is $2.5 billion from the DoD Drug Interdiction Program.
Yeah.
Interdiction Program.
Interdiction, yep.
Sorry.
You're good. This one really struck me because of the things that you're going to pull money from for a national emergency. Drug interdiction. Dude, the opioid crisis within America is a prime example of an actual national emergency worthy of declaring one. And the $2.5 billion could probably bring the number of lives that lost yearly down. And we're looking at 60,000 people a year in America die of some sort of opioid-related overdose or related death.
Yeah, you were telling me about this before. That's on the number of Vietnam levels.
Yeah, the entirety of the Vietnam War.
Yeah,
on a yearly basis, yeah. And to take that money from drug interdiction and divert that to this fake-ass bullshit crisis wall nonsense that you campaign promised, that you realize you're not a good deal guy and you have to somehow make good on this, but you can't. So you're going to pull money from all these other different directions. To pull money from that, man, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it could be so much better used somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, because then you have your favorite thing, the scanner that we go into in the airport. You want that for the semis.
Right.
At the port of entries.
Right, the thing you put your hands, up sort of diagonally and stand in front of the scanner and it does its thing.
Yeah, it scans you.
Build that 20 times to scale, 20 times larger, and put that at every port of entry that semis go through. We touched on it a few podcasts ago that only 1 of 10 semis gets checked, thoroughly checked to see what's inside of the back of that 18-wheeler.
Yeah, and with $2.5 billion gone from that funding thing, I wouldn't be surprised if that goes down to, 1 in 15.
Yeah, well,
or 1 in 20.
Or none, ever. It drives me fucking nuts because
Yeah, like
It's so counterintuitive
oh
to
no,
what you
you
could
guys
do.
you just come on and it's all good. We got a wall now, so that protects us from drugs.
Yeah. The 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 people that could carry 50 or 75 pounds of drugs versus the semi that can carry 200 million pounds of fucking drugs in the back of it.
Was like it's something very similar to the overstayed visa thing. I think it's pretty close. I think it's like almost 2/3 of the drugs come in through the ports. Yeah. But I mean, Trump has put this very succinctly in not necessarily his favor. He said that the wall is a medieval solution.
Yeah.
I mean, he said that.
Yeah, and Democrats have used that to,
in a
good way to oppose him on that.
It's one of those things where, like, so were leeches.
Yeah.
So we're fucking, like drilling a hole in the center of your forehead to release the demons.
Right.
Like
these medieval solutions, and that this one's not going to work for a modern problem, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So that's not. We're not done with the money trail yet, as far as the.
No, we're not. I wish we were.
I know.
I wish we were done with this whole fucking garbage because it's fucking so frustrating where we're going with this.
Yeah. So.
But we've got $600 million from the Treasury Department's drug forfeiture fund.
Mm-hmm.
So basically...
So that's pretty much the least controversial of the three.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine.
I just don't like that you're using a not emergency to emergency take money for things that don't require money to be taken that way.
Yeah, and like forfeiture fund, that's like you gotta sell that shit.
Yeah.
So
you gotta auction off Lamborghinis and fucking
Lamborghinis and gold toilets and all the shit that you bought. You collected over the years from fucking drug guys, and there's probably some fucking El Chapo fucking memorabilia in there. And I'm wondering if like that's just a way for fucking Trump to like help his buddies out. Like, hey, you want some El Chapo shit? I know you watched that shit on Netflix. Yeah. I did too.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems. I don't know. I'm not sure that he's thinking that far ahead, because I don't think he ever thinks that far ahead.
I think
but
he
if
thinks
he
that
did,
far ahead
absolutely,
for like.
Absolutely.
Like, I think like he doesn't give a fuck about the wall. Like he just wants to get it done because like campaign promise mode. But like I think like his priorities lie in like, like, hey, I got something what you want.
The hookup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he sits there and he spends fucking.
You buy a couple year membership to Mar-a-Lago, I'll give you a gold toilet.
Yeah.
And we'll call it even.
Hey, I'll get.
And
you
I got the gold
one.
toilet for free.
Like, you'll pay like $500. Nobody else will vote. Trust me. I got it covered down. Secret Service tack running people in the fucking auction house.
Right.
All just joking, obviously. But all right, so moving on.
Excuse me.
So what's gonna happen from all this, man?
Oh, dude. So as expected, it's lawsuits out the ass everywhere. It's only going to get worse.
Lawsuit diarrhea?
Yeah, pretty much very very resemblant of the Muslim ban bill that he proposed and tried to get through, and the courts shut that shit down pretty much as fast as courts can do things. So we're expecting probably, before next podcast or very soon after next podcast, we'll probably have a ruling from a circuit court that does not allow for funds to be diverted in these ways for things that aren't emergencies. We haven't had a border wall in America for fucking ever. And it's not all of a sudden now an emergency.
Yeah.
They're not crossing it with tanks. If they had tanks, I'd be like, dude, build the goddamn wall right now.
Yeah. If the caravan was a caravan of zombies.
Yeah. Build it.
I'd be down there helping build the wall.
Yeah, exactly. Give me some fucking mortar. I'll help out.
I'll build it with fucking, I'll mix fucking liberal tears in.
Right?
You know,
It really
like,
stinks. It really stinks.
You know, like whatever fucking needs to happen. It's fucking zombies, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, these are women and children.
Yeah, but on the basis we're talking now, so the ACLU, the California, I forget the circuit court out there, they'll likely strike it down very soon.
Oh, yeah, he hates it. Ninth Circuit.
I think it's the 9th, yeah.
The Ninth Circuit Court
I
of
didn't
Appeals.
want to misquote it, but I think it is
Yeah,
the 9th.
it's the Ninth Circuit.
Yeah, he loves whatever the Texas sector is there, the 4th or 5th or whatever it is, yeah. The one that upheld the abortion thing most recently. But,
Yeah.
we'll see, and this is going to be in legal limbo for a little while, and it's going to impede POTUS's progress on his little fucking planned wall. It just, we'll keep an eye on it, and wall's probably going to be a lot of the talk within the podcast.
It always is,
Forthcoming.
man.
So,
Because, I mean, that's what this administration focuses on.
yeah, unfortunately, I'd love to talk about like real policy and really things that would really make a difference
Yeah.
in a positive way for Americans. And wall's not one of those. So,
But that gets us into our next thing. The fact is that this administration is so xenophobic. Everything about this administration wants to blame everything on the other, the immigrant, the Mexican, the South American migrants, the caravan, all of that thing. I mean, it all comes down to, and that's why you have the left that is so vehemently opposed to the right, the right, control of the administration. Is because of this. Is because it's so similar to the whole xenophobia of 1932 Germany type aspects.
Right.
That's why fucking Nazi gets thrown around so goddamn much nowadays.
yeah.
It's fucking garbage.
And
man.
unnecessarily.
Yeah, it's unnecessarily, obviously.
Right.
I mean, except for when it's literal Nazis.
Yeah, well, when it's actual,
Yeah.
swastika
Yeah,
flag-carrying guys in Charlottesville,
I mean,
we can start saying the Nazi word.
Yeah.
But
But
I'm fully on board with pushing back on the left a little bit when you can't call everything a Nazi, because when a Nazi really comes,
yeah,
then what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's the boy who cried wolf scenario.
exactly.
You gotta not say racist every single other word out of your mouth and Nazi every single word out of your mouth. But when there really are those real problems that exist right in front of you, no one's gonna listen.
Exactly. But the thing is, man, is so they've ramped up all this support, all this hate and fucking frustration over the whole recession, and they've directed it towards migrants. And we've
Yeah.
done that in this country years upon years upon
Yeah.
years.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it be the Japanese during World War II, whether it be, Mexicans, I think we're on 4 or 5 times now that
Yeah.
we've done that, or whether it be the Irish or the Italians or the African Americans. I mean, it happens all the goddamn time.
Oh,
You
yeah.
always got to have an enemy. But
This one's this policy that they put in place is pretty. It's a very resemblant of those very specific policies you just outlined, because they're strictly forbidding fucking reporters and lawyers and advisors and legal counsel of going across the border to advise their clients, asylum seekers,
yeah,
on how the process works and what you need to do for this to work.
it's a war on migrants, man. Just like a war on drugs.
Yeah, fucking
Look how that worked.
yeah. That's a podcast in itself. The one on drugs.
Jesus, I could go for millions of years on that one.
Yeah, we'll do the Joe Rogan type thing if we fucking do that. But
Yeah, you won't let me.
no, definitely not. We'll call it quits before then. But yeah, so it's very symbolic, because Trump keeps preaching this thing that you want immigrants. I want immigrants, but I want them to do it the right way. So the right way, what's the right way? Oh, asylum seekers? Well, legally, yes, that is the right way.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, is that, like, he thinks that asylum seekers are not legal.
Or MS-13s.
Yeah, they're MS-13s, or, like, the leveled up version, MF-14s.
Yeah. No, not MS-14s.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm scared.
Yeah, now they got fucking upgraded gear. They've got fucking body armor and fucking, plasma swords.
Right.
It's one of those things, man, where, like, you've got like you said, reporter and lawyers. They're being flagged to, like, to keep out of Mexico. Mexico's like, sorry, dude, we can't let you in. Like, you got flagged by your own government, bro.
Yeah, like, we'd let you in, but your government tells us we can't let you in our own country.
Yeah.
And to advise our people on what to do in your country.
And so the ones that they haven't flagged, that cross back and forth, like, every single day. Because if you're a lawyer or you're a reporter covering this story, or dealing with migrants that are actively working that case, to get a migrant, amnesty, you're crossing the border constantly. Well, apparently a lot of these people have been, like, questioned hardcore. Like, they're going through their, like, documents, like, their legal documents. Is like, dude, attorney-client privilege, like, where did that go?
Yeah.
Apparently not at the border.
Yeah.
Going through their phones, asking them about activists, and fucking, like, all right, so who's helping them down there? You gotta tell me.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Like, really fucked up shit.
Fucked up, shady cronyism bullshit that, in a lot of ways, it kind of resembles the whole family separation policy.
Yeah.
That they sort of use to, like, de-incentivize migration.
Yeah.
In a fucked up way. Like, yeah, come here if you want, but we'll fucking take your kids.
Yeah. And it turns out, like, there's, like, I think it's, like, 1,000 or, like, over 1,000 of kids that, like, aren't going back because they went to adoption agencies.
Yeah. Super fucked up.
Like, I heard rumors and stuff like that about that being true, like, way back in, like, the early things of this. But, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, state-sponsored kidnapping.
Fucking hits
Like, hey, yeah, you came over across the border and you requested asylum, and we took your kid, and then we fucking sent you back to your country.
Well, there's
Thanks
a lot of,
for the kid.
Yeah, there's a lot of cases out there where they don't even know. Like,
Yeah.
the migrant that brought the kid had to go back, child separate mode. You're back, the kid's in custody somewhere here, and they can't tell you where the hell the kid is because they don't fucking know. They just don't have their database, like,
Jesus,
together enough to tell you, like, oh yeah, your kid's in here in this database right here, and it be returned to you in 6 weeks after we leave him in the cage for that long.
Yeah, gotta be in the cage.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of the shit that fucking it's allowed to do this is all because of the Migrant Protection Plan.
Yeah.
Which is not doing its job at all. The exact opposite of its name. Which I'm not surprised because it's a military program. Or a government program.
Yeah. It's kind of like the EPA.
Yeah.
Just
under the Trump agency. Yeah. I mean, just take whatever name that, like, the agency has and just, like, do the exact opposite.
Yeah, Federal Bureau of Investigation. Fire the leader of that.
Yeah.
And it's
Federal Bureau of Investigation. Investigate nothing, especially when it comes to Trump.
EPA, coal guy.
Yeah.
Migrant Protection Program, yeah. Don't help migrants. Don't assist them whatsoever.
Protect us from the migrants by keeping them on the other side of the border program.
Yeah, it's a fucked up array of...
This is disgusting. I'm done.
I'm getting there, man.
Yeah, no. We gotta go. We gotta go to the next one.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm ready, dude.
1,000 times, yes. It's time for happy science time.
The bad part is your first topic here is...
Sad science time.
A little sad.
Yeah, no, as much as it is sad, it's also really fucking brilliant and happy as well.
The first part's sad.
Well,
it's
yes.
It's like that heroic story where the hero gets beat down and fucked up, but ultimately wins the battle. Except this hero does. It won the battle. It just died doing it.
No, this is one of those things. A hero, like, faced incalculable odds and survived forever and died, to save,
Oh yeah.
The people.
Yeah. So we're talking about the Mars Opportunity rover here,
Yeah.
and it went. How long did it go?
5,352 days.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Traveled what, like 45 kilometers or so?
45.16 kilometers, actually.
Wow. Holy shit. So it's finally done. It's completed its mission. The solar panels are getting no sun because it's completely covered in Martian dust and sand. But it did complete 60 times what it was intended to do.
I think 5,352 days is not right. So just did the math on that. That's 446 years.
Souls.
446 months.
Souls is what they used in The Martian, at least the movie.
Let's see here.
And that's where that's where we got that number.
Let's see, 5,352 days by 365. Yeah, 14, almost 15 years. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I was just doing math wrong. Don't mind me.
We're only off there when you say the 14-year thing by the difference between an Earth day and a Martian day, which isn't crazy. We're off. But
yeah,
we're
it's
not
roughly about 24 hours.
We're off only in terms of perspective here.
So yeah, but it should be noted, like, this rover was supposed to last 90 days.
Yeah, that was the initial plan.
Yeah.
And then this guy went 60 times that?
Yep.
Bro.
Little opportunity, man.
Pour a little out for a whole opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's awesome.
In memorandum, this podcast right here is dedicated to it.
Right.
May we see you soon.
Right. Get us there, Musk.
Right.
We were talking about the future colonies. What'd you say?
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna have like a fun run type fundraiser that's gonna do the opportunity run.
Yeah.
45 kilometer run along fucking, its path.
Right. Like retrek where it went and what it did.
Yeah, and that'll be all paved and nice and
Yeah.
Enclosed and like. They go up there and they run it and they get over to the end like, yay. There's going to be a park and, it's probably going to be like dome mode.
Oh, yeah.
Like
best part about that
preserved.
is Trump won't be there.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
That'll be future.
I know.
We probably won't be there either.
Yeah, there's a good chance, but I just take...
I mean, maybe we'll get robot.
I take
bodies.
solace in the fact that Trump won't be there.
Yeah. That is one good thing.
Yeah.
Like, for the new world. But why don't you go ahead and tell us about a certain upgrade of something cool?
Oh, man. So, big props to you, Jay, because you told me about this. We started this podcast last year, the end of last year, November or so.
15 weeks ago, to be
You
exact.
informed me on this specific sector of technology fucking like 4 or 5 years ago, and I knew nothing about it. So LIGO, and I should have got the fucking acronym, but I didn't. What LIGO does is detects gravitational wave anomalies, or which specifically are basically ripples in time space where you can't quite discern, like something's going on that we can detect, but there's a lot more to know about what that is, how that happened, why, when, where.
Exactly.
The 5 like W's.
I actually got that acronym.
Oh,
just
you
now, if
you're gonna
wanna-
save the day? I was hoping you would save the day with me.
Yeah, I googled it. It was it's the Laser Inframeter Gravitational Wave Observatory.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't get it, is because it has a few extra letters in there.
Yeah, gravitational wave dash observatory or gravitational dash wave.
Yeah, there's
So
like
it's all
dashes.
like LIGO.
Yeah. But it's getting a $35 million upgrade. And I'm always for, like, we've been talking about large sums of money in the billions of dollars for this stupid fucking border wall tonight. And I'm always for, here we are on a very small scale, $35 million compared to those numbers we talked about before, going towards science, going towards observing gravitational wave anomalies and everything, the 5Ws type of thing, that how that's happening and why and when and where and all that. And so what this $35 million upgrade does is, in its time, LIGO has detected 11 gravitational waves and been able to, there's no error, it's there. It's a thing that we know is happening. We just don't know enough about it to know more. And how we know more is we keep observing those things. So what this $35 million upgrade does is makes it to where you could get an observation every day.
Which is way better.
So you could do what it's already done in 1 week, if not more.
Because as it stands right now, the way that LIGO works is like the only way that they detect things is like when it's something huge, like two neutron stars collapse or colliding together,
right,
creating this crazy, like, you know, it's like being a blind man and listening to, you know, the ocean, and you can only hear the big giant fucking crashing waves.
Yeah.
You know, like during a tsunami or something. You know, like you're blind and you're like mostly deaf, and you're like, oh, I hear the ocean. You know? Now it's just like, okay, we're like, now you can hear normally, and you hear waves all the time.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
So $35 million is nothing to shrug at, you know?
That's a good investment.
And if we're going to get, you know, we talk about 11 ever, and if we're going to get one a day or one a week, we're going to outpace that number significantly, very, very quickly. And
oh, yeah. Because you said, what,
we're gonna learn
once
more.
a day?
Yeah. They speculated, I think it was the University of Chicago, speculated that they could outpace what it's discovered already within 1 week.
That's crazy.
I know that that's just like sort of hypothetical, but
because like the first time they did they recorded a gravitational wave was in 2016.
yeah,
So for 11 in the last 3 years,
exactly.
and detect all new ones in the next week.
Right.
And
There's a
surpass
lot
that?
to
That's
learn.
amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn there.
Yes.
Next thing you know, we'll have like Rick and Morty portal guns based off technology like this.
I don't know about that. That's interdimensional type stuff. But we could have Back to the Future hoverboards.
I'd be completely okay with that.
Because you got to figure out exactly how gravity works. You got to be able to detect it. Once you be able to detect it, you got to be able to manipulate it after that. Yeah.
I like where your mind's at, Jay.
Oh, yeah. So that about wraps it up. I do have a little shout out that we're gonna do. That we're gonna send you a little link there, and it's gonna be in the description, and we're gonna both tweet it out because I think it's super cool.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little climate change app, and basically it's gonna find your sister city if the emissions don't stop. And basically, the next 60 years? It's like 2080?
Yeah. It's pretty much a fast forward to 60 years from now, where you live will feel.
And I gotta say, where I'm at right now doesn't sound very good.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna move north. But my north is gonna move south in the next fucking 60 years, so
yeah,
fucked.
well, that's the real funny part about it. It's like anywhere you go on that map, and it's specifically North America, at least for now. We're hoping it'll branch out.
Yeah, for those of you that are outside of North America, we're sorry. Hopefully they can expand to the rest of the world, but right now it's very U.S. centric.
Well, we're sorry, but also you're still in the Paris Climate Agreement, and we're not. So
yeah,
we're also sorry for that.
We're also sorry.
Yeah. But,
double sorry.
It's a very interesting app. We'll include it in the link to the podcast this week, and take a look. Click on Do the thing you did when you first saw Google Earth and go to your house.
Yeah.
Go to your local, whatever the closest point to you is.
Find out if, you're going to get a lot more rain or if it's going to be a hell of a lot hotter there.
Yeah. Pretty interesting stuff.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, definitely.
That being said, we want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I think we're done for, what are we on? Like episode
15.
15, man.
Yeah, 15 weeks, man.
Hell yeah. So see you guys next week for episode 16. I can be reached at Backyard Bull T on Twitter.
Go ahead and yell at me on Twitter at BackyardBullJ.
Yeah, we've got the Facebook page up and running, hit us there.
J&T's Backyard Bull.
Yep.
You can also reach us at jtbackyardbull@gmail.com.
As always, we would love to hear from any listeners listening. And bitches, gripes, complaints, anything with any kind of insight whatsoever, we're willing to hear it and potentially give you a shout out if you got something worthy.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We're always down for new content and ideas and everything like that.
That's the tentative plan right now, is to run what you just heard, Happy Science Time it, and give it a little mailbag.
A little mailbag would be nice.
I'd like a mailbag.
Same here.
Talk to us.
We're so lonely.
Alrighty, buddy. It's been real bulling with you.
That it has, man. That it has.